in. So we're gonna need a pillow tonight. We're gonna need a pillow to sit on and something for under your hips. A roll towel and a strap or a substitute for a strap, like a dog leash or a scarf, something where you can hold it at this distance. Okay, we're gonna begin. I'm gonna turn down the music a bit. I'm not sure if you can hear it. You're not really meant to hear it. Okay, come to seated. So I always recommend that you sit on something. So if you tend to sit cross-legged, you don't have to sit cross-legged, of course. You can sit up on your knees or you can sit in a chair. You could actually do this stuff standing as well. So if you do sit cross-legged, just switch your legs to the way that you don't normally cross them. Cross them the opposite way. And I just want you to get a sense that you're sitting on top of those sit bones and that you're grounding down to those sit bones. So just envisioning the sit bones, the spine elongating from the sit bones, an extension through the chest. So no arching in the back to extend up. Just like you're pulling the top of your head upward, extending the chest. Perhaps a little tuck in the neck to elongate, a little tuck of the chin, sorry, to elongate the neck in the back. Release your face, that space between your eyes, the jaw. Perhaps keeping your eyes gently closed. Your arms can be just dangling by their sides. They can be on your laps, palms down, palms facing up. And coming to the breath. First, noticing your breath. Noticing how you feel in your body. Do you feel tense? If you feel any pain anywhere, you can always adjust. We don't have to sit in pain. So adjust anytime you need to. So focusing on our breath. Breath in through the nose, let the belly expand, bring the breath up to the ribs. And exhale out through the mouth. Noticing again if you're tense, if you're feeling some anxiety, stress. And using the breath just to connect to ourselves, to our feelings. And don't judge ourselves if we're experiencing any pain or discomfort, or even your thoughts. Show yourself compassion. Sitting here, trying to release any tension around the shoulders, the jaw. Taking another breath in. Breath in, breath out. Pay attention to the breath. How is it flowing? How is it moving? Are you finding it difficult to take a deep breath? Does your chest feel tight with worry during this difficult time for everybody? And try to let it go. Show yourself some compassion and giving yourself this time to dedicate to yourself tonight. I thank you all for being here. Thank yourself for being here. And we're going to gently open the eyes. And adjust if you need to adjust, if you're uncomfortable, or if you just want to change in position, please do. We're going to begin with the neck. So just dropping the chin down towards the chest. So I'm not arching in the upper back, just dropping the chin to the chest. And we're going to do some circles around. Like I said, if you're getting uncomfortable sitting in the one spot, get up, sit in a chair, stand up. We want to move from a place of ease. Remember, no pain, no discomfort. That's not going to help. Moving in discomfort and tension. Why? Why should we do that? So just bringing the neck around in nice loose circles, meaning you're not straining or trying to reach out to every possible boundary. Just gentle. And now we're going in the opposite direction. And one more circle. And come forward. I'm going to change my position. So I'm going to just come up onto my knees. We're going to do a little bit more work with the neck. So this is just a simple exercise, but you may want to watch me first. So I first want to make sure my shoulders are back. So we're going to do one side at a time. So I'm going to roll my shoulder blade back. My right shoulder blade is laying nice and flat on your back. And then so I'm going to just put my hand here to just remind myself to keep that shoulder back. Okay, so you're not clenching back, just gently holding it back. You're going to look in the opposite direction. Then you're going to give your, go into like an underbite. So bring your jaw forward, your bottom jaw forward. And then you're just going to look up to the ceiling. So I don't mean you need to see the ceiling, so you don't need to roll your eyes, but just jut and lift. Come down, come forward. Again, just situate that shoulder back on your ribs, shoulder blade. And we're going to turn the neck to look over the opposite shoulder, jut the jaw, and look up. You can keep your eyes closed if you want. And you should be just getting a nice stretch down the neck and come forward. Setting that shoulder back. Tucking the chin a little, looking over the opposite shoulder, jutting the jaw, and looking up. And come down, and come forward. Just notice how that feels. Give the shoulders a little roll. And come to the breath. Sitting up nice and straight, or you could be standing. Come back to the breath. Relax that space between your eyes. Relax your jaw. Now rolling the left shoulder back. Bringing the right hand there to remind the shoulder to stay back. And then you're going to look the opposite. Jut the jaw and look up. Hold and breathe, and then come down and come forward. Take a breath. Exhale, go into that again. So rolling the shoulder back, take a breath in. Exhale, look over the opposite shoulder, jut the jaw, and look up. And come down, come forward, take a breath. Situate the shoulder, look the opposite, jut the jaw, and look up. down. It's hard to do talking and coming forward. Just roll the shoulders again back a couple times. And forward. So with your hands, we're going to go into a nice jaw muscle release. So we're going to take the palms of our hands and we're going to bring them and start at the cheekbones. And we're going to move down the jaw. And the same thing, when we get to the bottom, we're going to kind of jut the jaw out. Excuse me one moment. The heat is on in here. And I'm going to move the camera a little forward. Not sure if it'll work better. I'm coming back. So yes, taking the palms of the hands, we're going to move down the jaw, and when you get to the bottom, just jut the jaw out, and I like to kind of come under the jaw. Take a breath in, relax, let it out. Come into it again. You can even start from the temples if you want and come down, but I really like going under the eyes, along the jawbone here. Coming down. Let the jaw completely relax now and come under. And do it one more time. So I'm going to start right at the base or right at the top of my forehead. I'm going to work. I'm going to come under the eyes. And then I'm going to start. Move my hands away from each other, down the jaw. Feeling nice and relaxed. Take a breath. And now I want you to grab the back of your hair, so at the base of your skull, or if you have a ponytail, maybe even better. And just grab some hair. I'm gonna try this with a ponytail, or I'll just take out my hair for now. So you're just grabbing some hair on the bottom. And all you're doing is you're going to just keep your head nice and straight. So you're sitting up nice and straight, chin tucked. Take a little bit of hair and you're just gonna pull the hair in a diagonal position. So up in a diagonal position and away from you. And relax. I'm going to move my head from side to side and do it one more time. So grabbing just some hair in the back and just grabbing and reaching at a diagonal. So you're almost reaching diagonal out. Feeling the neck nice and long in the back. And release that. So you may feel, so check in with your jaw, around your face. Your neck should feel really nice and loose and relaxed. Perhaps even some of the muscles that are normally really tight in the front of the neck and the back feel a little less tight. Okay, so next we're going to come into a seated cat-cow. So for this, you will want to sit with your legs crossed. So I'm going to cross my legs again. I'm going to go outside on just to show you. So you're sitting up nice and straight and ground down through the sit bones. Ensuring you're nice and comfortable. Putting your hands now, and you could be seated. You could be seated on something higher as well. This pillow is a little bit flat for me, actually. I'm going to make it work anyways. Okay, so we're having our hands onto our knees, and we're going into a cat-cow, but we're going to initiate the movement first from the pelvis. So you're going to tuck the pelvis under as you roll your back, and you're going to try to move up the spine. So rather than going into a seated cat-cow, like by just going like this and coming through and going back and coming through, I want you to first begin to initiate the movement, like I said, by tucking the pelvis under and imagine rolling up the spine. You're rolling and rolling, your chin coming towards the chest, and when you get here, You're kind of using your arms for a little bit of leverage here. And then as we come up, we're going to start at the pelvis again. So untucking the pelvis. And imagine moving slowly up the spine. And let the belly hang. Don't be holding any tension anywhere. And as you get up, it's this gentle squeeze of the shoulder blades behind you. And like your chest is coming forward. So you're not trying to bring your head forward, or you're trying not to arch your back all the way forward, okay? So let's do it again. So we're just gonna start from tucking, and then you guys go your own breath. Remember to breathe, remember not to tense anywhere. So inhale, starting at the pelvis, coming up, coming through, nice and slow. Taking your breath, exhale, start the roll again. Move with your own rhythm, your own breath. We'll just do 2 more of those. So tucking the pelvis under, not really trying to roll the back right under. It's coming down, chin to chest, rocking back up into my pelvis here. I'm beginning with my pelvis, coming up. Take a breath, pulling your chest forward, your shoulder blades behind you. Take a breath. And exhale, come to neutral. Okay, so now we're going to put our legs in a wide position. So it doesn't have to be super wide or as wide as you can go. They need to just be comfortable. Oh, I'm gonna have to change that. So we're gonna just go right into our internal and external rotation. So hip rotation of the femur bone in the hip socket. So legs at a comfortable distance apart, toes are pointed up towards the ceiling, and I'm just going to simply, actually, let's go into more of the lazier version because tonight's class, I want you guys to relax and really not move, not be forcing a lot of effort, I guess. So internally rotating, externally rotating. So I'm just, my hands are on the floor behind me. I'm just kind of pushing out of the hands gently, just meaning that I just don't want to collapse in the arms. So I'm just externally rotating, internally rotating. So yeah, tonight's class, very gentle class. We are going to be doing a lot of stuff, opening up the chest, some shoulder stuff, I believe. Yes, and then closing the feet a little closer together, coming back to the breath. Relax in all those places that maybe you have discovered by now that you hold tension. In the chest. Be conscious of your breath. I'm going to open them a little wide again. Continue with the internal and external rotation. Now next time you're externally rotated, just hold. Breathe. And come internal and hold. Take a breath. Sometimes when things get a bit difficult, we tend to hold our breath or scrunch our face or breathe very shallow breaths from the chest and come back to neutral. Take a breath. We're going to come into 90-90 legs. So what that means is we're just going to bring both of our legs into a 90-degree angle. So you're kind of going to be sitting on your side. So my legs, I'm going to just bring the right leg in, and it's kind of like at a 90-degree angle. And then I'm going to kind of come over so I'm centered along this leg, and then bend the other leg. Kind of place it behind you. So really just take a moment to situate yourself. You don't have to be on a pillow. If you're on something too high, this you may want to come off and just be on the floor again. We can relax back down here, back here in our arms. In fact, we are going to relax back in our arms. The legs, when I say 50-50, so there's a 50-degree angle here, 50 and 90-degree angle here, 90 legs, not 50-50, a 90-degree angle here. But in fact, if that's too much for you, you can bring the legs in, well, they can be a little wider, and they can come in a little bit, but just not too much, okay? Also, don't worry if your legs don't come all the way down, and if they're only coming here, no worries. Wherever they come comfortably, if you want, you can put like a pillow or something on your legs just to bring the floor up to your legs, but not necessary. So 50-50-ish position. I'm leaning back in my arms now, so most of my weight is on one kind of side of my buttocks, so one hip bone or one sit bone is kind of on the floor more than the other one. And what I'm going to do now is my left leg, I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to open it so wide that you're going to feel like it's pulling the other leg over, okay? So now we're over on the other side. I'm going to move my pillow because you're probably going to start moving around a little bit. So now I'm going to move this back leg up. Oh, and really feel that stretch and let it pull the other leg over. You may need to resituate. And again, so just opening up that leg, letting it drop over and pull the other leg. So yeah, you're probably going to move around a lot on your mat or on your floor. So enjoying this movement, relax the face. Take some big deep breaths in. And if you don't like coming all the way over, you can just windshield wiper the legs back, of course, too. Or do both, try both. Staying with the breath, getting this beautiful movement in the hips. And we'll just go one more way left and one more way to the right. Okay, and we'll stretch those legs out now. And if you want, sitting on top of your sit bones here, this is not going to be available for everybody to sit up straight like this. And if it's not for you, don't worry. We're coming right down onto our hands and knees right after this. So just hinging at the hips and just a very small forward fold. So keeping the chin tucked. You can walk your hands. I'm keeping my back completely straight. I'm not rounding over to get to the floor. Wiggle the toes. Relax the face. Close the eyes if you want. Maybe on the next exhale, you have a little bit room to go a little further, but please don't be forcing anything. Please don't use the floor to pull yourself forward. Let the belly release and relax. And we're going to come up. Now come onto our hands and knees. Different variations for the hands and knees. Remember, there's always an option to have, well, you can have your blanket under your knees, or I prefer blanket than like a pillow that's has an uneven surface. But if you do have a pillow, another option is to, when you come on your hands and knees, to not really have your knees on the mat, because this here pillow is allowing me to be just more on my shins than it does my kneecaps, okay? So that's an option right there for you. So we're coming on hands and knees. Also, you have the option to come onto your forearms. I think everybody who's in this class tonight has been in other classes. So hopefully you know all those different variations. Also rolling your mat up for your wrists. If you don't have really good mobility in your wrists, you want to roll the mat up the top and use that. Okay, like so. Okay, so I've just made the angle much bigger in my wrists than if they were flat on the floor. Okay, so knees are underneath the hips. The hands are underneath the shoulders. And both are, the hands are shoulder width distance apart, and the knees are hip width distance apart. And first, we're just going to move. So we're just moving side to side, getting some more nice movement in the hips. I'm just doing circles. So I'm not coming way over my wrists like that. That's going to put a lot of pressure on my wrists. And so I'm just moving back like I was going to go into child's pose, and then move up and around. So you can just do big circles, so you're getting some nice movement in the shoulders as well. Go around in the other direction. Keep going, and then really any movement here that feels good for you. So you can do a little sway from side to side. Stay with your breath. And a little hip shimmy. And now you're going to take your leg just out to the side. So you're just taking the leg out to the side. My foot is down flat on the floor. You probably can't see it, but don't worry if that doesn't happen for you. So again, when we are on our hands and knees, we do want to have this feeling like we're pushing the floor away from us. And there's a little bit of external rotation. So you're getting a lot of like, you feel very stable, kind of like underneath your armpit. Okay, so real stability in the shoulders here. And I'm going to bring the leg out to the side and move back and forth, gentle movements. Now, when my leg goes out to the side, make sure, and I'll show you just from the front, that you're not coming over to the side, or so the knee is still under the hip, and just gentle movements back and forth. So looking down, the chin is a little tucked, elongating the neck and the back. And again, this is going to be different for everybody. So not coming over the wrists, just a gentle move, bringing your bum back towards your heel and forward. Okay, do that a couple of times. And then move with the breath. Savor it. Enjoy the movement. And then we'll come back and go right over into the other side. So I want to feel nice and stable in the shoulders. So I kind of like rolling the shoulder blades back and down my back. The ribs are flat against my body. I'm not arching the lower back and bringing the ribs down towards the floor. Keep the ribs in. Chin tucked, neck long. And let's just have a breath here before moving to the other side. So just notice how it feels to be here. Fingers wide, pushing the floor away from us. Not tensing, just a gentle pushing the floor away. And let the belly now completely relax on the breaths, okay? So you're not tensing the belly anywhere. And you're just going to hold this while you're letting the belly relax with the breath. Okay, bringing the foot out to the side. Again, if the foot doesn't lay flat on the floor, no big deal, the foot could be on the side. And a gentle movement forward and backwards. Not coming over the wrists. That other toe, back toe, can be tucked if that's more comfortable for you. And you're just coming back towards the heel and coming up. Take a breath and exhale back. Inhale forward. Picture the leg bone moving in the hip here. The arm bone, the humerus moving in the shoulder socket. And we'll do one more back. And forward. And come in. And if you want a child's pose after that, go for it. So I like child's pose with the two knees wide, and then the feet coming in to touch, and then bringing myself, my bum back to my heels, and coming onto the forearms, or just coming all the way down into child's pose. And I always tell people to bring something up to their head if their head don't reach the floor comfortably. So whatever you have there. Oh, and stay there for a moment to breathe. Come back to a bit of stillness. So come back to a gentle breath. And now we're going to come out of child's pose. So walk here, come up, bring your knees together. And bring your knees actually all the way together. Bring the toes together and heels together. Arch the back a little bit, so bring the belly down towards the mat. I'm going to walk the hands back so that we're kind of sitting on the heels. And for some of us, the heels may be kind of going under or trying to kind of go under the sit bones, but not for everybody. And I'm going to stretch my toes out to the sides. I do this a lot in my classes. If anybody would like to do a child's pose here, go ahead. We're coming to standing. But for anybody, anybody who's not done a downward dog before, this is not really the time to do it. Maybe in my next class, I'll walk us through a nice downward dog. But for those of you who would like to go right into downward dog now, go ahead, or else you can just join me here. So now I'm going to come up. So come up onto my toes, like so. I want to keep my legs in towards each other. I don't want them to come out to the sides. Keep them in. And I'm going to just try to stand up, remaining on my tippy toes. So just trying to stand up nice and straight. And coming all the way up onto the tippy toes. Bring the arms up over your head. I'm gonna have to adjust my camera. So if you're on your tippy toes, you can bring the arms up and stretch. And exhale, come down. Let's take the arms behind us, clasp the hands. Standing up nice and straight, so root down through the feet. The feet are about hip width distance apart. Taking that weight of our belly and bring it back into the heels. Ribs down, chin tucked to elongate the neck. And I'm just bringing the elbows in and now lifting the arms away from the bum. Take a breath, release the tension in your belly. And release, come down, shake it out. Take the hands now in front, interlace the fingers, turn the hands inside out. And then bringing the arms up. If it's available to you, don't bring the ribs with you or with the arms. Take a breath and exhale. Come down, shake it out. Go the opposite fingernails. We're bringing the arms wide behind us, bringing the other pinky on the bottom this time, bringing the elbows in. Take a breath. And now reaching the arms away. Take a breath. And exhale. Come down. Okay, give your hands a little shake. Let's open the feet a little wider and do a little movement. So swinging side to side. Come back to the breath. Okay, so slowing it down. perhaps taking the left ear down to the left shoulder and extending the right arm. Palm facing up towards the ceiling. Then come up, take a breath. Left ear or right ear down to your right shoulder. Extend the left arm, palm facing up, reaching away. Big belly breath. And release and come up. We're going to get your strap or whatever it is that you have. And we are going to hold it. I'm going to start pretty wide. So you should see how I have it held here. And all we're going to do, so actually let's get back to our nice standing position. So feet straight underneath the hips. Our weight is, our toes are wide. We're grounded down to the earth. We can feel all the toe mounds pressing down. The weight is evenly distributed over both feet. Some of the weight is a little bit maybe back in the heels, your pelvis weight. And then roll the shoulders down, tuck the chin a little, hold your strap out, and we're gonna just be lifting the strap over and around and behind, okay? So what might wanna happen, if you're finding it too hard, widen your grip a little, and then what we're trying to do is get the strap all the way behind, but we don't want to be moving the ribs or arching the back to get the strap behind, okay? So let's focus on our breath. Focus on relaxing. So letting all of that tension around our belly and our backs release. And now we're gonna grab the strap maybe a little tiny closer, maybe not, just give it a try. And we're gonna see how that goes. So move with your breath, inhale up, exhale down. Whew. Do one more. And maybe you can just bring them in a little tiny bit more and see what happens. Oh, it's way more harder, way more hard. Okay. And you can try a little closer if you want, but I think this is it for me. Oh, just bring it over. Oh, and relax. Give your hips a little shake. Give your shoulders a shake. Your arms a shake. Your hands a shake. I like doing these little hops, so my feet are still flat on the floor. I'm just doing these little hops. Get a big breath. Oh, roll your shoulders up and down. Okay, so coming back, holding the strap. Again, it's wide like this. So you're going to be up, shoulder width height. It's coming up. So now what you're going to do, your arms are out straight, but you're going to pull one arm back. So I'm just bringing the arm in a 90-degree angle, pulling it back and coming into this bow and arrow kind of position. And then I'm going to look behind that arm. So this is really good for strengthening the upper back. A lot of us have very weak upper backs, so this is going to be quite challenging for some of us. So just give it a try. We're only going to do a couple because your arms and upper back is going to get quite tired. So all I'm doing is I'm going to pull now from my left arm. I'm pulling the left one back. I'm rotating though through the ribs, okay? I'm not rotating through the pelvis. Everything stays the same, steady. And so I'm pulling this arm back as this one comes forward, and then if you want, you can even bring your gaze behind you, and more than likely your elbow has dropped down perhaps. Try to keep it up at that shoulder height, okay? So take a breath. Oh, it's apart. Maybe I'll show side on as well. So I got the strap out in front of me, and now I'm gonna bring this arm back, rotate, keep that arm up at this distance. You can stay here or even bring a little bit more stretch into moving and looking behind you. Shake that out. We'll just do one more on the other side. So we have shoulder height. Now we're gonna just pull back that elbow and do this twist. And then if you want, you can look behind, take a breath. Oh, and exhale. Release, come forward. And shake that out. Oh my goodness. I can really feel that in my shoulders. And it feels like there's a lot of space created there as well. So again, with the strap, we're going to take it this time behind us, some more shoulder work. And we're holding the strap, so pulling it apart. And you're going to see that my knuckles are pointed forward. So I'm going to do one hand at a time. So I'm going to just have my hands next to my thighs here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll my wrists under like this. So now my fingers are forward. So the same thing with this one. I'm going to roll it forward. Now, of course, my hands are closer together to one another, and it's really pulling my shoulders apart, okay? So just staying here if you want, and if you're like, I'm not really getting much of a stretch here, then bring it a little closer. So then bring your hands a little closer to one another, and you can either do both at the same time or one at a time. And you'll really feel that nice chest opening here. So just enjoy this. You're not forcing anything. So I'm not forcing the hands apart, I'm not forcing them down. There's definitely some contraction going on, but there's not this like, oh. Okay, let's come back to the breath. Close your eyes if you want. Enjoying this nice stretch here. Big breath in. Expand the rib cage. Big breath out. And release. Okay. Give it a shake. And I think we are coming down to our backs. So 15 minutes left. Yeah, let's come down to our backs. We're gonna need our towels now. So go grab your towel. And we are going first to lay the towel lengthwise, okay? I'm gonna move the camera a little closer, maybe. So you can get a better view. So we're gonna come down to our mats and lay this vertically. And you're going to sit down and have this like at the base of your spine. And you're just gonna come down to lay on it. Depending on how long your towel is. This is great. My head is laying on it. If your head doesn't lay on it, you may even want to put something, it's going to be up to you actually, how that feels. Like if your neck is off the pillow, it may be okay for some, but if your ribs are jutting up, I would probably put something underneath my head as well, okay? So you're just feeling like you're nice and long, okay? So getting situated on there, nice and comfortable. Legs are bent. Shoulder blades are kind of like flat against your back, as flat as they may go. And ribs are down. You're just bringing the palms out into a T. Another thing is my towel is quite thin, so it's not, I'm not getting a huge stretch here. And that'll depend on the thickness of your towel. So if right now you're thinking, oh, it could be a little thicker, then well, maybe next time. But no matter what, I think this is going to be great for everybody. So you're basically wanting to relax here. So closing your eyes, letting the shoulders just drop down. So release any tension in the shoulders. Relax the jaw, that space between the eyes. You may have a slight tuck at the chin. And what you're trying to do here is completely let go. Calming the nervous system. And if you get any tingling or numbness in your arms, you may want to take a break, perhaps not do it, or maybe your arms don't have to be out. You can bring them down a little bit. Maybe you want to try bringing them up a little bit. So we are actually going to bring the arms up into this like a Y position now. So the palms are facing up towards the ceiling. And again, the idea is just letting the arms and shoulders to relax. If the arms don't touch the floor, maybe you want to grab your pillow again or something to raise the arms up. And now take the arms and bring them in a Superman position behind you. So the arms are up. You may feel, depending on how tight your shoulders are, that your ribs are moving up a little bit as well. So can you relax your arms here? A lot of times when I do this, I will put a pillow underneath my arms here. So if my pillow was near, I would put that under my arms here, because it is a little intense for me, and I know that my ribs are starting to poke up. So notice what's happening too. If it is a little uncomfortable, do you feel the nervous system changing? Do you feel like your fight or has bring it down, take some feeling. And we're just going to roll off the towel now and take your towel lengthways, horizontal this time. And we're going to come and lay down on it again. This time you're going to get it kind of like a brush up or probably a little bit higher. So you want it kind of on your shoulder blades, okay? So you want to come down again and then situate on that Goldilocks place for you. So where it's most comfortable under your shoulder blades, okay? Again, I could probably use a little something under my head here, but for now, I'm just going to, again, your knees are bent, hip width distance apart, your feet are. Adjust if you need to, and just bringing your arms again out to your sides. Slowing down. Adjust yourself if you're feeling, even if you just want to move a little bit and put the towel just in a different spot, a little higher or a little lower. So trying to relax the shoulders into the towel. Let go of the jaw, space between the eyes. Take the arms now in a Y, let a Y position. Again, just trying to let them release and let go. You're trying to give up any kind of bit of holding on to, gripping. And now bringing the arms all the way behind your head. Noticing what happens to the back, that the ribs want to come up and the back arch off the floor. So again, can you relax here? It might be a little harder, maybe a little uncomfortable. Like I said, having the arms a little higher on a pillow behind you if you're going to do this again at some other point. Or if you have your pillow close to you now, go ahead and put it there. Feel the chest expand. Let yourself collapse into the towel. And one last breath. And then bring your arms back towards your sides. And roll again to the side. And sit yourself up and move the towel to the side. And now grab your pillow. So this time, I'm going to put the pillow, just like we did with the towel, and put it to the base of your spine. And then you're going to slowly come back onto your back. Now this time you might want to scoot up because you want this underneath the pelvis. And again, if you have something higher, even better. This is just very squishy, and the higher it is, the easier it is going to be for you to raise your legs up in the air, okay? So, so there's just a big difference of using something under your hips and using nothing and on the floor. So it'd be much harder for you to extend your legs up in the air. So we're just extending our feet up in the air. If you want to reach your heels, your legs don't have to be straight. You can have a bend in your knees. And like I said, this is a lot easier, and you can maintain straighter legs the higher you are up onto, the higher your pillow is. So I just put my hands underneath to give me a little bit more lift. And I'm just enjoying this, letting my legs kind of fall into my pelvis here, or into the sockets, the hip sockets. I'm going to stretch my heels up towards the ceiling and release. Stretch my heels up towards the ceiling. And release. And now even opening the legs wide. Now I don't want you to open the legs wide and let them just collapse down without holding. Like I don't want you to just like collapse and let them just hang. There's some control here. So I'm just letting the legs wide and open to each side without letting them collapse. And really, I'm just reaching out through my heels again. And bring the legs in, bend the knees, and even bring the feet apart now. Bring the feet together, bring the knees apart. So please don't tense here, okay? We may have a feeling of tensing around our belly again. It's just habit for us, really. We don't need to do that. Some nice movement again in the hips here. Feet are touching together. I'm bringing the knees wide apart. And then bringing the knees together and bringing the feet wide apart. And now I'm going to just grab the knees with the hands, extend the arms out straight. I'm just giving myself a little rock here from side to side. If you're on something really high, you may want to move that, not sure. I'm just going to keep mine there for now because mine is quite squishy and low to the ground. So just rocking back and forth on the sacrum. Really here, anything that you feel like you need right now, go ahead and do it. Or you can just stay with me here and rocking around the sacrum, going in little circles, and going in the opposite direction. Take a big breath in and release. And then I'm just going to bring the knees towards me. The feet are kind of together, just like a happy baby. I'm going to grab the ankles. If you can't grab the ankles, I don't want you arching yourself all the way up, okay? Just even holding on to the knees. But just supporting the legs so that they're not just, again, flopping all the way open. Just doing a few ankle rolls here. My arms are out straight. Chin is tucked. Feel a nice elongation off the back of your neck. Come into a bit of stillness if you like. I'm going to release my hands now. Windshield wiper the legs back and forth. And we're going to go right into Shavasana here. So whatever you need to be comfortable here, you don't always have to be on your back. You could be sitting up or some way that's comfortable for you. The knees can be bent. They don't have to be bent. You can curl. You can come off your cushion actually if you want, and even if you can fold it. Depends on what you have, and put it underneath your knees. Or you can even come in that little butterfly position. If you do come in butterfly, I really, really want you to have something holding your legs up for them not to flop out to either side, okay? So this pillow for me, I can't do it. It's not long enough. So I'm just going to relax my legs down. I have the pillow kind of under my knees. We can roll the shoulders. You may want to place the shoulder blades flat on the floor. Your ribs all touching the floor, a little arch of your lower back. You can bring one hand to your chest if you want, and one hand to your belly. Finding some connection again, connecting to the breath. Noticing the hand in your belly raising as you inhale. And perhaps on your next inhale, seeing if the hand and your ribs can move, so bringing the breath up to your ribs. Let it out through the mouth. So noticing the breath. Release the jaw. Release that space between your eyes. Letting yourself sink into the floor. Putting a smile on your face. Trying to slow down the mind now. No more thinking involved. Turn down the lights so my computer is not so bright. The screen is not so bright for you. So letting your breath to come back to its natural rhythm. Feeling the belly release. The head feels heavy. Invite this feeling to move down your neck, your cervical spine. Feel your shoulders melting into the earth. Let that soft energy move down your arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands. Fingers naturally curled in towards the palms. Breath in, release. Breath out. Your whole back, feeling how your back feels against the mat. Releasing any tension in the chest, in the belly, the lower back. Feeling open in the chest. Back to the breath. Feeling your whole pelvis heavy. Release into the floor. Legs heavy. Releasing any tension around the thighs. The buttocks. The pelvis. Coming back to the breath. Inviting your legs now to relax. Your knees relaxed, your shins and your calves are relaxed. Moving down into your ankles, your heels, your feet and your toes. Your whole back. Feeling released, soft, open, relaxed. Scanning your body one more time for any areas where that tension may have crept back in without you even realizing it. Between the eyes, the jaw, creating a little space in the back, between the back teeth. The shoulders, the chest, your pelvis, your belly, all around the midsection. Connecting to your heart center. Releasing any fear, any worry. With your exhale. Inhale peace. Exhale fear. Inhale compassion. Exhale worry. Inhale love. Exhale, peace. Inhale, love. Exhale, peace. Know that you're not alone this time. We're going through this together. All connected. Feel a big pile of compassion in your heart. It's getting bigger with every inhale. Compassion for our neighbors, for our friends, family, people who have been affected by this virus. And exhale, peace and love to all these people in your life. And I'm going to leave you here now. Enjoy just staying here for a few moments longer. So again, everybody, I thank you so much for coming. Enjoy this beautiful evening.